Hi guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to be explaining to you all about Google Classroom. So Google Classroom is actually a really interesting application because it's actually a blended learning platform. So what this means is that it allows educators or teachers and students to connect and to share information in and outside of school. So essentially what Google Classroom is for, it's for teachers or educators to create, distribute, and grade assignments. So if you're choosing to get Google Classroom as an app, you can search up for this logo. And if you're just choosing to use it in your web browser, then you can search up Google Classroom. So once you search up Google Classroom on your app store, it should bring you to a page that looks like this. And if you're using a student email to log in to Google Classroom, then you're only accessible to join classrooms. So you can't make any classrooms of your own. You can only join the ones that your teachers give you. However, if you're using a personalized email, you can both join and create classrooms. And I'll show you how to create classrooms later on in this video. But first, I'm going to focus on you as a student, how you can join a classroom. So essentially what you're going to be doing is clicking this plus button on the top right side corner, and it should give you the option to join a class or enter a class code. And so this class code will be given to you by your teacher, so they will know the class code to their classroom. So once you enter that in, you can press join in the top right corner. And then you can see a page that looks like this. So on the top bar here, you can see that there's 3 tabs or options that you can click on. So there's Stream, Classwork, and People. So in Stream, you can see all of the posts and all the assignments that your teacher gave you in order at which they were given out. And then for each individual post, you can click into it to see what this post entails, so what your teacher has assigned you or what the lesson was. And then in the left corner over here, you can see that there's a little white box and it says upcoming. So in this box, you're able to see any of the assignments or any of the work that you have due 1 week in advance from when it is due. So for example, if your teacher assigns you an essay, a homework, or a presentation, it will notify you a week in advance when it's due in this little box here. Next, if you go into classwork, you can see that your teacher may have organized all of the posts that they made into little sections. And so these sections could be lesson, like lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, or it can also be homework, or it can also be practice. This organizational feature allows you to find your homework or find lessons easier. So for example, if your teacher assigns you some sort of assignment or presentation that's due, you can click into that post and you can see the due date in like the middle section here. And to the right, you can see a section that says your work and then add or create. So if you click on that add or create button, it shows you different options of files that you can add. For example, if your assignment was an essay and you wrote it on Google Docs, then you can click onto the Google Drive platform and then choose your docs that you want to submit. If your assignment was a presentation, then you can also click on the Google Drive and then submit your presentation from there. If your assignment was done on a PDF format or something like that, you can insert a link or you can insert the file. Once you're done adding whatever assignment you had made, then you can submit it pressing that button here. So once you're done that assignment and you submitted it, it marks this project as done. So you're finished with it. And also you no longer have access to the docs or the file or the presentation that you submitted. So you're given all the access to your teacher. Finally, in this assignment post, you can see at the bottom here, there's an option for class comments or private comments. So if you write some comment underneath the class comments, then your entire class, so everyone in your class can see what you wrote and what question you asked. However, if you only chose to write it in the private comments, then you're only writing to your teacher specifically. Finally, if you go into the People tab, you can see that it's split into 2. So there's teachers and there's classmates. And in teachers, you can see, well, your class teacher and who all of your assignments will be submitted to. And for your classmates, you can see everyone that's in your class, so all the students. Next, if you choose to create a classroom, so scenarios you can use this in is if you and your friends want a platform where you can share documents and stuff, you can create your own classroom. And after you create that, you're required to enter a class name for this particular classroom, and also you can also choose to put in a subject if you need to. So once you've created this classroom, you can see your home page as how a teacher would see it. So in the first little box on the left side, you can see the class code. So if you want more students or if you want your friends to join this classroom, then you can copy paste this code to them. You can also choose to change up this banner at the really top by pressing customize, and then you can either insert a photo or just change the color of it. And then lastly on this page, if you just want to announce something really quick and short to your class, then you can simply press this announce something to your class button. Once you click that, you can see at the top there's options of all student or only particular students, so you can choose how many students you want to see this announcement, and then you can type in what you want to say to your class. You're also free to insert whatever video or picture that you need from these buttons at the bottom. Next, on the top bar, you can see here there's the tabs Stream, Classwork, People, and Grades. So if you go into the classwork, it's a bit different from the student view because you get a Create button. So once you click into that Create button, you can see that there's 6 different options. So there's an assignment, a quiz assignment, question, material, reuse post, or topic. So for the assignment, it's basically just assigning some homework to your class. So you can create a title for it, you can explain what the assignment is at the bottom here, and then these buttons at the bottom, you can choose to add a video or add a file or some sort of thing that the students can see to help out with their assignment. Next, at the side, you can see again, you can choose to give this assignment to only a certain amount of students or all of your students. You can also choose how many points you want this assignment to be worth, or you can choose to have this assignment be ungraded, which means it's not worth any marks. And then finally, you can choose a due date for this assignment. Next is the quiz assignment, and this essentially allows you to give a Google Forms, which we learned about in the last video, to your students, and then you can mark it after that. Next is the question option. So if you need to ask your students any sort of questions, you can click this button, enter in your question, and then your students will have to just type in their answer at the bottom. So those are the 3 main options you may use if you are a teacher of this particular classroom. And finally, the most important one is the topic. So in the topic section, this is where you can organize and categorize all of your assignments or your posts. So for example, a topic may be homework, and this is where you can put all the homework for your students. And another option may be lessons, and you can post all of your lesson posts underneath this topic. And then next, if you look at the top bar, you see the option for people, and this is where you can see all of your teachers and all of your students' names. And then finally is the grades option at the top bar, and this allows you to just see all of the grades that you've marked and all of the assignments that you've given grades to. So this is essentially how you use the Google Classroom application. So you can see how this application makes assigning work and also receiving work so much easier for like teachers and students. So I hope this video helped you understand the logistics of the Google Classroom. Have a great day, guys.